A snake suddenly appeared on the operating table. Lim, the director, was horrified. She told everyone to back off, but the doctors were stunned. Where is this snake? It turned out that only Lim could see the snake. No, and this woman. What do you see in her hand? It was her husband's toe. Shaun looked excited. He enjoyed picking the fingers. But how did the toe break? The woman said she saw a snake in the night. She took her knife and cut it at its head. And then her husband's toe fell off. Shaun asks her if she has bad eyes, but when he sees a man's socks.
I retract that question.
Turns out he was wearing snake socks. Good thing they got to the hospital in time. The doctor soon reattached the man's toe. Then Lynn saw the snake again. But the man isn't wearing snake socks either. It was an illusion. But why do they hallucinate? Shaun is thinking, only to see something even more shocking. The whole hospital went crazy. To the Con Parker and Shaun's big apprentice, there was a striptease. Shaun's wife Lee has been hallucinating. Everyone looks like Najaz. Even DeMarcus thinks he's Spider-Man. He had to climb up the wall. Luckily Lim stopped him. It could be worse than the guy with the broken toe. How did it come to this? They need to find out why this happened. Through analysis they found these crazy doctors. There is one thing in common. They all attended the hospital potluck. A potluck is when everyone cooks a dish at home and bring it to the hospital to share. Shaun and Morgan were there too. But Shaun is picky about food. And Morgan got into a fight with Parker. In the end neither of them ate any food. Such an analysis. Then it must be the food. So they started going through them one by one. See what kind of food everyone ate when they got sick. Finally found. A sweet potato mash is the most popular dish. Everyone ate it. And it was Shaun's big apprentice, Arthur, who made it. But he said he bought the ingredients organic. The steps are all done strictly according to the recipe. There can't be a problem. That leaves just one last doubt. Seasoning. Arthur asked his roommate to use all the spices for the day. Bring them to the hospital for tests. In the video, Arthur noticed that his roommate was carrying cumin. Not the one he used the other day. He used it from his roommate's locker. The roommate saw the light. His old roommate's tin of cumin. It was filled with psilocybin. It's a hallucinogenic drug. No wonder everyone's hallucinating. It's a good thing they don't eat much. It was soon back to normal. And the following. There's another big client at the hospital. Shaun is turning patients into future warriors. Don't brag about it in front of Shaun. Look at the boy. He had to do magic for Shaun. See nothing. There is a watch in it. Cool. He had a digital watch implanted in his wrist. And the boy's girlfriend is even better. She put a chip right into her finger. Not only can she juggle, she can swipe her card and scan her code. The boy was so envious. So he puts 3 magnets on his fingers. He didn't expect the card to roll over. He thought it was just a slight inflammation. But it was Shaun he came to see. How could it be that simple? Shaun found bones in the boy's hand. It's been severely corroded by magnets. Then cut off his hands. The boy's mother was horrified. Show mercy, Dr. Shaun. He's 16, he can't be without hands. Shaun said it would take at least a finger. The boy quit. What kind of hospital is this? It's scary. I need to be transferred to another hospital. You want to go? Shaun's passive abilities slowly release. The next thing you know, the boy's just lying down.
This is much easier than chasing him.
They're gonna have to operate now. But in the end Shaun relented. He just took the magnet out. But there's no guarantee it'll happen again. Just hope it doesn't get infected again. And to keep the boy's wrist from getting infected, too, the boy's mother had the doctor take out his digital watch too. The boy learned the news after the operation. He lost his temper. He had to get Shaun to put him back in. The boy's dream was to be a biohacker, but his mother kept saying no. The 2 quarreled like cats and dogs. Finally, the mother asked Shaun to talk to the boy. Let an autistic person teach someone else. Isn't that a joke? Sure enough, Shaun enlightened people cannot open passive first. He hasn't said a few words yet. The boy had a sudden sharp pain in his wrist. The boy had not only a digital watch in his wrist, it also has a LED light, and the lamp caused irreversible damage to his joints. He could lose the use of his hand forever. The mother and son immediately fell apart. They even started blaming each other. The mother accused her son of disobedience. The son complained that his mother did not understand him. Then Shaun spoke up. "You two, stop fighting. It's not like there's no hope." "Well, I haven't hung up yet." Dr. Shaun has a rich imagination, trying to turn a patient into a future warrior. Install a robotic arm. The boy turned out to be a biohacker. They don't just put magnets in their fingers. He had an electronic watch in his wrist. He ended up hurting his wrist. Now it's risk of amputation. But at the moment of greatest danger, cool Dr. Shaun often turns into good Dr. Shaun. All it takes is a hang-up. Then Shaun saw what he had learned all his life. Finally there is an implant. Imagine through Shaun's brain. It blends perfectly into the boy's wrist. Shaun excitedly went to the boy's mother, said he could fix the boy's arm. There is an implanter that perfectly replaces the air transit functions of the wrist. And this kind of body modification. And that's what boys like. He's gonna be so cool. But his mother care. "How much is this surgery? Is it covered by health insurance?" Shaun said it was an experimental procedure. "It's more expensive $500,000 without health insurance." The woman simply refused. And Arthur says, with this implant, her son can't do any more body modification. There will be rejection. Shaun quickly chimed in and said yes. Isn't that what she wanted? Finally, under the perfect cooperation of master and apprentice, they got that one. To reward Shaun for his excellent performance, the director asked him to perform the operation himself. The wrist is removed first. The implant is placed in the terminal tissue. The operation was a success. It won't be long. The boy's wrist will move freely. Finally, Shaun told him, "How about you make it cooler? Don't mess around with himself." The boy had an adoration for Shaun.
Thanks, Doctor.